everyone. I'll just start by saying thank you so much for having me, and also thank you so much for the support for this project that I've been working on. I have just a couple images to share with you to sort of tell you about what I've been working on. So for this project, I was doing some research trying to look at and understand the conservation benefits of pollinator garden registration programs in cities. So I imagine that many of you are probably familiar with some of these pollinator garden registration programs, maybe have seen a sign for a monarch way station or a pollinator pocket or certified wildlife habitat, or maybe even, have a garden like that at your house. This is a picture of one that's located in Old Irving Park in Chicago. I think they're really interesting because what's happened is that as people, scientists, and the public have become more aware of some of the threats to pollinators, they've had this great response of, wow, what can we do to try to support pollinators in our towns and in our neighborhoods? And so these pollinator garden registration programs have become really popular. And it's great, but the problem is that nobody has actually evaluated whether they're effectively providing resources to pollinators. Are the flower resources being provided actually higher quality than the flower resources that might be provided in an ornamental garden or something like that? And it makes sense that they would be, but for a program that's sort of attracting a lot of people's resources, it's good to check, right? So that's what I was trying to do. So I picked 13 of these pollinator gardens that were in the greater Chicago area, and I paired each of them with a nearby ornamental garden that wasn't registered, as well as a lawn. And I went and I monitored every 2 weeks over the course of the summer in 2019 the flowers, the floral resources present in the garden, and the nesting resources, as well as the pollinators that were visiting the garden. So I went ahead and identified, often with the help of the gardener, all of the plants that were present in the garden, the species of flowers that were in bloom. I counted the number of blossoms in each garden, and I did a 30-minute observation period where I would walk through the garden and just record pollinators that I saw landing on the reproductive parts of the flowers. And so what I wanted to find out, are we seeing more pollinator visitation to these registered gardens? And it was great, the results confirmed that yes, these registration programs are sort of helping to encourage people to plant more floral resources, and that those floral resources are benefiting pollinators, right? So if we look at flower abundance and flower richness, both were higher in the registered gardens than in the ornamental gardens, or of course the lawns. And then for the pollinators, we see the same thing. This is total bees, more bees visiting the pollinator gardens than the ornamental gardens or the lawns. And I broke it down by species, but I don't have space to show you everything, but the honeybees as well were, much more abundant in those pollinator gardens. So yeah, I could give you a little bit more detail on some of the other things we looked at, urbanization gradients and how that relates to this, but I thought I'd just give you this sort of main takeaway that I was, really happy to see. Let's see, and so then I just have one more picture for you here. It was a great opportunity to get around and see what people are growing in Chicago and what sort of biodiversity that's attracting. So these are some bumblebees. I think they're Bombus impatiens on Monarda, and this is at a school pollinator garden in LaGrange. So I think that's what I got. Thanks very much.